When little Valentin found a wallet in the back room of an elegant restaurant, he had no idea that this seemingly innocent gesture would open a door to a forgotten past and a blood bond that would forever change his life. That discovery was much more than a simple lost object. It was a key to discovering who he really was. Valentin was a boy of just 9 years old, but anyone who met him on the street would have sworn he was at least twice that age. He was smart, curious, attentive, and his eyes, large and dark, had learned to read people and situations better than many adults. Stay with us until the end of the video. Subscribe to the channel now so you don't miss other incredible stories. She lived with her mother, Sophia, in a small room in an old farmhouse on the outskirts of Boston, a place that smelled of damp and toil, but which the two of them had transformed into a warm and loving refuge. Sophia worked tirelessly in a school cafeteria, with grueling shifts and miserable wages, since the child was very small. Despite everything, she always managed to leave a note for her son, next to the plate of pasta she prepared for him every morning. "Have a nice day, my love. Take care, and remember how much I love you. Mom." Valentin read those notes as if they were treasures, folding them and keeping them in his backpack, along with just one photo. That of him as a newborn in his mother's arms. That photo had always accompanied him. It was his story, or so he thought. Everyone in the neighborhood knew this little explorer with a heart of gold. The baker would save him a warm croissant, the greengrocer would always give him a red apple, and even the gas station attendant called him Captain, because of the baseball cap he never took off. Valentin didn't ask for anything, but everyone gave him something, because in him there was light, that rare, pure light that cannot be faked. Every day after school, he explored the streets of the neighborhood, building adventures in the alleys and talking to anyone who wanted to tell something. But that afternoon in May, something changed. It was a hot day when Valentin saw, for the first time, luxury cars parked outside the most elegant restaurant in the area, the Golden Garden. Photographers, waiters in tuxedos, guests in formal wear. Something big was happening. With a light step, like a cat, Valentin approached from the back. He knew some of the cooks well, and hoped that in the midst of all that luxury there was a slice of cake for him too, and fate, that day, did not disappoint him. Sitting on a wooden box, his mouth dirty with cream and chocolate, Valentin was savoring one of the sweetest moments of his life. When he felt a hand on his shoulder, he turned suddenly. An elderly man, elegant and distinguished, was watching him with a kind smile. His eyes shone, not with anger, but with curiosity. "Do you like cake, boy?" he asked. Valentin swallowed and answered honestly, "It's the best thing I've ever eaten." That man was Pascal Carter, a famous entrepreneur, owner of the restaurant, and the birthday boy of the day. Unexpectedly, a connection was created between the two. A spark that was difficult to explain. They talked for a while, like two old friends. Pascal told Valentin that, despite appearances, he felt alone, surrounded by people who were celebrating him out of interest, not affection. Valentin didn't say much, but his silence spoke louder than 1,000 words. "And you, what would you do in Valentin's place? If you were in his place, would you have had the courage to face the truth, to discover that secret that changes the course of life? Tell us your opinion in the comments." When Pascal was called back by his assistants, he left the boy with an order. "Let them prepare a special package for him to take home. He is a guest of honor." But it was as he turned to leave that the unthinkable happened. Pascal's elegant wallet fell to the floor. Valentin picked it up carefully, and that was when he saw it. A photograph, faded, a little crumpled. It was him, a newborn baby, in his mother's arms. The same photo he kept on his bedside table at home. A shiver ran down his spine. "How is this possible?" he whispered. but he didn't have time to react. One of Pascal's assistants noticed him with his wallet in his hand and, misunderstanding the situation, pushed him away with harsh words and distrust. Valentin came home confused. His heart was pounding. He couldn't get that photo out of his mind. The man's face, the way he looked at him. He knew he had to tell his mother. When Sophia returned from work, she found Valentin more agitated than usual. She told everything: the meeting, the cake, the photo. Sophia turned pale, her eyes shining, her hands shaking. The moment had come. After years of silence, she confessed the truth. Pascal was not just a businessman. He was his father, the grandfather Valentin had never known. Years before, Sophia had run away from home for love. Pregnant, young, and stubborn, she had given up the help of her family to follow a man who had then abandoned her. Out of pride and shame, she had closed the bridges. But Pascal had never stopped searching. He had kept that photo as the only memory of the grandson he had never known. Valentin gathered all his courage and asked his mother to meet his grandfather. Sophia, although hesitant, understood that she could not deny him that opportunity. The next day, they took a bus to Beacon Hill, where Sophia's parents lived. Sophia was terrified, but she knew it was right. When they knocked, her mother opened the door. Silence. Eyes in eyes. And then, a hug. Valentin watched in silence as his mother's tears flowed freely. Then Pascal stepped forward. He stopped, looked at him, his breath held, and with an almost trembling gesture, he opened his arms. Valentin dove into them, as if he had always known this was his place. Pascal held him tightly. All the love and affection that had been held back and repressed for years now flowed freely, like a river in flood. From that day on, Valentin was no longer alone. He had a whole family waiting for him. Not only a wonderful mother, but also a grandfather ready to make up for every lost moment. And as he grew up among stories, homemade cookies, and sunset walks with Pascal, he learned something he would never forget. In every simple gesture, there was a fragment of truth, and in every word shared with his grandfather, a piece of his story was hidden. The evenings passed slowly, filled with confidences, dreams, and rediscovered hopes. And it was precisely in that new daily life, so different and so real, that he understood the profound value of roots and forgiveness. Sometimes the truth is scary, but only the truth can lead you home. What would you have done in Valentin's place? Would you have told your mother everything right away? Write it in the comments. I want to read your opinion. If this story touched you, leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And probably the next video that is about to start will touch you deeply. See you next story.